This is an era of job crafting, designing the work you want. While work cultures are unique to every organization, the foundation of what enables a culture to thrive is the extent to which employees are empowered to be engaged, feel valued, and be heard. This is where leadership comes in. Pivotal point is this on which the entire capacity of the leadership revolves. Leaders shall effectively drive the values based culture. According to a recent survey by the National Bureau of Economic Research, majority of the CEOs believe in an unhealthy culture leads to unethical behavior. This is the time leadership through several tools like recruitment effectively and learning and development, leadership has to concentrate more. That some surveys found that 9 out of 10 finance officers chief believe improving company culture would increase their company's business value and performance. Although leaders admit that unhealthy company culture can impact engagement, a disconnect remains. Leaders may believe they are putting in the work to build and improve, but the reality is that employees do not agree. Nearly half of employees say leadership is minimally or not all committed to improving culture. The discrepancy can lead to harrowing business repercussions such as voluntary turnover that can cost organizations up to 2 times an employee's annual salary. One way leaders can demonstrate to employees that they are taking action is to put some of the power to impact culture back to employees' hands. For example, allowing employees to speak up when they don't agree with the company's actions or to take on new projects that they are passionate about, which can help to establish an empowered culture. Building a culture of recognition where acknowledgement and appreciation is given frequently and in real time also enhances an organization's resilience. What gets recognized gets repeated, and leaders who leverage recognition as an everyday tool for building a strong culture will outperform organizations that fall flat in the culture. Leaders build culture of leading life with values. A recent report from Archives and the Workplace Institute examining the job crafting identified 3 ways in which individual can improve their own employees' experience, as well as how employees can help foster strong cultures that support those efforts. Improving the role fit. Employees should be encouraged to focus on the work they are most passionate about, where they feel they provide the most value. If an employee enjoys speaking with clients, for example, increasing tasks that enable face to face interactions can make their job more engaging. Employees must ask for feedback and support employees look to go branch out in these ways. Establishing connections in the workplace, employee experience is greatly affected by day to day relationships. That's why it is important to give employees opportunities to strengthen these relationships through workplace celebrations and establishment of social gatherings, sports around the office space, team building activities, and interactive wellness challenges. Just to name a few, perhaps most importantly, employers can encourage frequent recognition and feedback at all levels of the company. Frequent recognition at every level build trust upon communication across an organization. Communication is a beautiful tool for establishing a liaison between employer employee at various levels and build up a bridge of free communication and their expression of their true feelings about a particular project or a particular work. Employers can also ask for feedback about employees' workplace connections and provide guidance or advice on improving relationships, encouraging employees to go on a coffee chat with a colleague they didn't know well, pointing to groups that gather around a sport or a social activity, or simply recommending that every employee work shared workplaces within office now and then. Connecting roles to purpose. The very purpose of establishing a project or the very purpose of establishing a particular cult or anything, there must be a purposeful and leading connection of roles, the art of connecting roles to the purpose. The purpose must be clearly enunciated and the individuals must be properly connected to the roles at which the employer is expecting the individuals to be connected and give productivity. Do employees know if their contributions to the business are meaningful? How can they know? Employers must develop a culture that reinforces the important role each employee plays within their organization. Encourage employees to examine or reconsider how their role ties back to greater organization, but remember that it is the company's responsibility to make this connection crystal clear, that clarity, that clear visibility of the purpose, clear connection to the purpose, that connection must be built in a crystal clear way. There should not be shadow, there should not be myth, there should not be any misunderstanding, there should not be any miscommunication. It must be very clear, visible, and with all crystal clear, both the purpose and connection have to be established. For those looking to create a workplace culture of employee empowerment and engagement, companies must first re examine their cultures to ensure they are attracting and retaining the type of talent that will drive business success. Leaders should honestly reflect on the extent to which they are listening to employees, driving cultural values themselves, and recognizing employee performance, all of which are critical to empowering a diverse workforces. Normally, an organization, a leader, and a manager at a very level will be he has to be facing diverse workforce from diverse cultures, from diverse educational patterns, from various attitudes in a particular region, at times from the entire the country, from various places people will be assembling at a particular place, and the diverse workforce must be united and they must be connected to the purpose and the work culture in a very neat way. At a time when companies are making headlines for cultural failures, employers must evaluate whether their own organizational culture is creating an environment for employees to live in shared values or to compromise them. This is the question, a dialectical question which is being faced by the modern management and the leaders, specifically starting from the level of CEO and to the level of recruitment training officer, and especially the training officer, the training and development officers, they have to realize about these values and see that culture is properly built, that a design must be clear cutly visible, then only they will achieve the target. Thank you very much.